Boom. What is going on this beautiful Saturday? I'm glad y'all stopped by and I'm glad to see y'all. I missed y'all. I wasn't on here the other day. Who's up in this house tonight? Naturally, Nicole is here. Corey is here. And Corey is here again. Corey be putting it in. Aisha B is here. Bonita Applebaum is here. G. Lauren, Cam, Hood Pocahontas. Sugar Honey is here. Hey Medusa. Zoe's Way is up in here. Jada Swirls. Blue Lives Matter. Indeed, they do. They really do, especially when we get started tonight. Merlot. Nasha Forever. The truth is the truth, regardless, is up in here. Who else in here? Oh, Big Talk Bougie Walk in this piece. Hey, lady. Satin Doll is up in here. You know, if I didn't say your name, hey, V in Training, you're going to see your shit up on this wall. Now, you see the title. There is no hole safe from dusty logs. No matter how old the hole is, no matter how young it is, no matter what species it's on, no matter whether it's dead or alive, okay? If you have a hole anywhere, it is not safe from the dusties, okay? Even if you have your waist cut from the bottom, you still got two ears. And when there's a dusty, he'll find a way to fit that in there. I was sent so many videos concerning the lack of impulse control that dust logs have, when it comes to other people's holes. Okay, some of it is triggering. I'm going to go ahead and issue that trigger warning right now. There's going to be some discussion about sex that's not wanted. Okay, non-consent sex, the R word. All right, that's very triggering for me. A lot of you already know why. Okay, so y'all, let's get our clip started. I'm serious now. If you're gonna get triggered, I'm gonna give you a second to press the X. This particular hole that the Dusty didn't give no fucks about, 70 years old. And these clips, y'all, range from a few weeks old to the 70s. No hole is safe. Go.
New here at the NYPD Special Victims Unit looking for the man who raped a woman at gunpoint in the Bronx.
Investigators say he was caught on surveillance video. CBS News' Natalie Dedrich live in Tremont with more. Natalie.
Yes, Chris and Mary, police tell us that suspect followed a woman into her apartment building and was wearing some kind of Halloween or costume mask, which he later used to conceal his weapon. And we've been speaking to women here in the neighborhood who say they're nervous he's not caught yet.
Surveillance video shows a man reach into his pants and pull out a silver handgun. Police say he forced a 70-year-old woman who is blurred to conceal her identity into an apartment stairwell where he sexually assaulted and raped her at gunpoint. Neighbors who live nearby can't believe it.
Why would you do that? That's your mother. That's your grandmother.
It happened July 27th at around 2 a.m. in an apartment near Belmont Avenue and 180th Street. Police say the woman was hurt but didn't report the incident until yesterday when she went to the hospital for an evaluation.
To be in your own neighborhood and for someone to attack you like that, that's very vicious. So that goes to show you there's something wrong with him. There's some kind of mental disorder. Even he needs help.
Bad, very bad. And if I should catch somebody like that, I'll hold the person until the police come.
Surveillance shows the suspect leaving the building. The man is described as 5'8", weighing 170 pounds, last seen wearing a black do-rag, black hooded sweatshirt, and carrying a red costume mask.
And police are hoping with that clear surveillance video, someone recognizes him and turns him in immediately. We are live in the Tremont section of the Bronx. Natalie.
Now, y'all, did y'all hear that lady? That's your mother. He don't give a fuck. That's probably why he did it, if you want to keep it all the way real. And why on earth are they asking the cold dusties in the neighborhood about what they think about what happened? The first thing that one did was blame it on mental health. Now, if you've been around these circles on YouTube in certain sectors, when people get the mental health ticket, they have a meltdown. But that's the first thing they use for this guy. Bougie talk. What's going on here?
Hey, love. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I'm going to come back around to me because I want to give everybody else a chance.
Yeah, I know your ass all the way ready. It's on you unapologetic. I already know what you finna do. It's on you unapologetic.
Like, even as he's done this horrible fucking thing, which I'm not surprised, they're still like, oh, it's mental health. It's not because we on code and we know all of us are like this. No, it's something wrong with him. It's something wrong with all of y'all. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, they can't keep their penis to themselves.
That woman was 70 years old. Do you know how much you see in 70 goddamn years? And then you go minding your business, and here comes the A word, him and his unlicensed, I'm sure, gun, sexually assaulting you in them pissy ass hallways in New York. I can't. Y'all that live in New York City, y'all are so brave. It's ridiculous. Elle?
Well, good evening, DZ.
Good evening,
and everybody in the chat. that immediately made me get super pissed by that NAN saying, oh, well, he need help bad. It's probably something. No, he just is a fucked up individual. That's all. Ain't nothing wrong with him to where he didn't understand or knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. He wanted to do it. And like I've said before, they don't have normal emotions like normal people. So they don't have a cutoff point and they don't have a conscience.
What in the world was that whole thing about hitting the wall? That wall is some bullshit because it doesn't matter how old you are. If you're in the vicinity of a dusty ass motherfucker, you might want to, relocate your ass. Please don't listen to them talking about you old. That lady is 70 years old, and he's still trying to hit. Oh, raggedy bitch, Trinity.
Well, first of all, that was disturbing to hear, and my heart goes out to her because I can't imagine how traumatized she must be. And, to me, I just find it funny how he brought up mental health, but it's just like they get mad when white people use that as an excuse, but then they do it too. It's just like, it's not mental health. It's just the fact that he felt like he wanted to do it because he knew he could, because we're just not protected in this community. You know what I'm saying? And then you had the second one smiling while he was talking, it looked like, and it's just like they know they get away with this kind of stuff, and it's not really much you could say anymore at this point. I mean, it's like there's no words anymore.
Someone in the chat brought up a good point. Nobody heard anything. Dusties make a lot of fucking noise. And in those cheap ass apartments, the walls are usually paper thin. Okay? Nobody heard anything. And if they did, 9 times out of 10, they went on ahead and did the, mind my business because it ain't got shit to do with me. That's how they do in the black sector. Divested OG.
This is not surprising, which is sad as in itself. He did it because the community will protect him and not her. That's why he did it.
They started the protection right while the newscast was happening.
Exactly. And I don't understand. It's always them out. I guess the women are working. I don't know. But they knew that the community would protect him. He knew that, and not her. I thought I was in the clear once I hit 40, but hell no. Apparently, you got to plug up all the holes.
If you have a pulse, as y'all gonna see on our next couple videos, if you have a pulse, a dust log will try to get in there.
You don't even have a pulse though.
No, that's true. I remember the guy that was fucking the people in the morgue.
They fuck dead bodies. They don't care.
It's not about the pulse either. It's just the hole.
Well, I stand corrected. On you, Big Talk.
Yeah, so you know where I'm gonna go with this.
Something's going on with your mic, baby girl.
Can y'all hear me better?
We can hear you, but it's like
like a helicopter.
Oh no, I'm in the Matrix. Hold up, y'all. I'm gonna get my other mic. Give me a second. I'll come back.
Okay. While she's doing that, let's go to the next one. And let me tell you something. This playlist we would have been here all goddamn night. I'll play this short one until she comes back. Y'all be prepared to be disgusted. They don't give a fuck.
What you need to know first at 4.
A grand jury has indicted a Columbus man for allegedly raping a woman at a local bus stop. Franklin County prosecutors say this man here, Antoine Blackwell, walked up to a 51-year-old woman with a gun at a Coda bus stop last month at Sullivan and Glenwood Avenues before taking her to a nearby area where he allegedly raped her. Investigators were able to connect Blackwell to the alleged rape through DNA from a rape.
Alleged my ass.
Right.
There's some more protection going on right there. I know newscasters got to do what they got to do when it comes to these motherfuckers, but ain't no alleged. If y'all look up his case, that shit is ridiculous. And also, there's somebody else that so-called hit the wall that they snatching pussy from.
How is it alleged if there was DNA?
Well,
you know, the funny thing is, I bet that she is not the first person he's raped.
Of course not.
Is it better now, DV?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. I had to go steal my husband's technology real quick.
Okay.
He's like, "Why are you taking my mic, girl?" So yeah, you know where I'm gonna go with this. Stop birthing them. I mean, I think when you start to rape dead bodies, kids, animals, elderly, there's there's something wrong genetically.
Yep.
Because at what point are we gonna stop blaming? Oh my God, his environment. It's the school he went to. Oh my God, he lived in the ghetto. No, they're degenerates. You know what I mean? And they're degenerates. Like, and trigger warning: if you have a son, if you have sons, this is behavior that is seen. This kind of demented behavior is seen from the time they're kids.
Yes.
Okay. This is this is coming from someone who has family members, close friends who are teachers, nurses, social workers, and they always tell me they gotta leave some little black boy back. Like, how do you get left back in kindergarten? You know what I mean? Like they
put
have
his
to.
ass back in the womb.
Right. It starts, and the thing is, because we can go tit for tat with this, because everybody always wants to challenge me, but I'm like, okay, but the girls come from the same environment, and they're not raping dead bodies. They're not attacking, elderly people. I mean, if you're from New York City, they're bashing elderly people in their heads coming out of the subway and just doing it just cause. Some of them are not even like stealing or getting anything out of it. I literally heard a story the other day where this guy was talking. He's a non-black guy, and he was saying how he was poor and he lived in a hood at one point before he got the hell up out of there. That this girl, some black girl, I guess she like had an accident or she fell, or the point is the girl was passed out. Do you know these dirty monkey knuckle dragon fucking primates said we should take out our dicks and piss on her?
Oh,
so
wow.
they like, yeah. So they have a innate kind of, I don't know what the fuck to call it. I'm not a psychologist, but they have an innate thing to attack anything that's vulnerable. So if you're elderly, if you're a woman, if you're a child, keep them away from them. It's there, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like at this point, the why is just like, why are we asking why? Like, we already know. It's just like there's something genetically wrong. I think it's genetics. I can only speak for me, but for me, I think it's a genetic thing because there's too many. It's too predominant, and it's just that have this behavior. And I mean, from the time that they're kids. I mean, pulling kids' hair, pissing on things, fucking up shit, vandalizing shit, destroying shit. And listen, I get it. It's in a male's nature to kind of like destroy, but when they kind of learn the rules of society, most men stop. Most men gain a thing called morality. I don't know, right? Like to not, kill and rape and steal. But they don't really seem to do that. And the sick thing about it is, regardless of even if they come from a 2-parent home, I don't know if you guys heard about the story from back in the day with the 2 Negro male brothers that came from I won't call them rich, but I'll say they came from a upper middle class home in the suburbs. 2 black parents. Do you guys know that they planned their murder? These were teenage fucking apes, teenage apes. Okay. Teenage.
I knew you weren't gonna be able to control it for long.
I couldn't. I can't. Teenage, like just vermin. Like, and we're talking about no, they wasn't from the hood. They wasn't from the projects. They wasn't in special programs. Like, no, they lived in an affluent area. I think it was in Texas. Anybody can Google it. Just literally type in teenage black boys plans parents murder. They literally planned to murder, and they came from 2 black parents. They were well educated.
The father's there. So there goes that.
The father's there. So my thing is, where's the excuse? Because we keep hearing almost a single mother, almost because they're raised this. No, they can be given everything and they still are natural born, in my opinion, psychopaths.
Facts.
Most of them are psychopaths, and the ones that learn to master, it goes 2 ways. If they don't learn to master it, they become psychopathic criminals. If they do, they become covert narcissists.
Mm-hmm.
But it's sick and it's embedded. I think it's genetic. I think Black women need to stop birthing them, period. I'm not saying you got to go scrape it out your pussy, but if that's what you want to do, I'm not judging you. But you know, just be cautious. Like, get on the pill. Like, there's plan B, ladies. What the fuck? This is 2021. Like, there's the patch. Like, there's so many alternatives to not birthing these monsters, these creatures, these orangutans. I mean, I don't even want to like disrespect orangutans because you're so smart.
Right.
Like, but it's just they're roaches. They are, what did I call them my last? They are fried. They're fried gremlins. Like, I don't know.
I'm with
and
you
it,
though.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter the circumstance. They're always looking to destroy. And that's my point.
You did your thing. Here we go to this next bullshit. Y'all, the playlist could have been all over the damn place. All right, let's go.
That's when I saw the cops.
Those living on Longview Avenue on Cleveland's east side told the I-Team that early Monday morning, several police officers surrounded this home and ordered the man living in the house to come out.
They brought him out the house and they had him down. Then put the handcuffs on. They put him in the car.
Police arrested 34-year-old Martin Whitehead on a charge of rape.
So ugly.
Reports state Whitehead is accused of abducting an 11-year-old boy who was playing on his skateboard on East 74th Street Sunday. Police say Whitehead forced the boy into his vehicle and drove him to this house on Longview, where the child said he was sexually assaulted. Cleveland police officers, along with detectives with the sex crime unit, are investigating this case. The child told police that after the assault, Whitehead dropped him off on East 71st and Superior and asked him not to say anything. As soon as the boy got home, he told his mom, who called police around 8 Sunday night. No one was at Whitehead's house Thursday, but detectives were back in the area this week talking to neighbors.
They talked to her, talked to me, my auntie over there. They talked to everybody on the street.
Neighbors say Whitehead had been staying at the home for the last few weeks.
I mean, you know, he come in, come out, go, you know, come in, go out, you know. But I can see he wasn't doing anything, you know. Like I told the officer, I don't know him very well.
Whitehead remains in jail on a $200,000 bond. In Cleveland, Peggy Gower.
So again, no matter what kind of hole you have, this one, our word, a little boy, right? And they say that we don't take up for little black kids over here, and that's a goddamn lie. But what I'm telling you is this: what kind of person is that little boy going to be in 10 years? My opinion, he's going to be probably just like that because of what he experienced. It's a horrible ass cycle. And in our community, or the black community, whatever you want to call the Blackistan, I'm sorry. I feel like the 62% is low. 62 on record, but 62% is kind of low. There's too many people with those kind of stories. If you go to any chat room on any live, if the person that's conducting the live ask, how many of y'all have been touched inappropriately as children? Press 1 type shit. The whole God, it goes on for minutes. It's too much. I'm at a loss for words. Unapologetic.
Yeah, they're just demonic. Like I say it all the time. If you're born as a black male, there's something wrong. Like, I don't know. For once in my life, I don't have any words.
Look at this shit. I'm hoping that y'all just putting one just because. Now, oh man, I'm so sorry to anybody in this room. Anybody that's experienced some bullshit at the hands of these dusty, ashy sons of bitches. Listen, I'm so sorry. That happens every goddamn time somebody asks. Look at all those ones, y'all. God damn.
He looked like a crack baby too.
He probably is. Go ahead, Divested OG.
No, I mean, seriously, he looked like a one of those, you know, he was one of those kids born during the crack epidemic, and he definitely looks like one of them to me. I think there is a propensity because of the way the community grooms its boys. There's no accountability for anything. anything. Think about it. And what happens is when they're little, they start doing stuff everybody thinks is cute. Then they get older, no accountability. Older, no accountability. So I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna go out and freaking R-word people, and nobody's gonna do anything to me. Nobody's going to report me. Nobody's going to say SHIT about me. So I can just go ahead and keep putting my shit dick in everything that runs. I mean, that open. So it's an epidemic. That 62% is a lie.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's no way on earth. If you were looking at the chat, how many ones I saw. God damn, that's fucking ridiculous. And if you being triggered by it, I understand if you have to go, it's triggering the fuck out of me. I'm giving y'all trigger warnings and shit. I'm triggered around this bitch.
Trinity. You gotta remember, Black women don't report everything either.
Yeah, so it's extremely high. It's higher than 62. And saying that it's 62%, I feel like is yet another way that they're protecting Dusties from having to face exactly what's going on. Because if you can't prove it and you report a higher stat, that's racism. Again, these are the people in the chat where they're running around YouTube having to hear motherfuckers telling them they should submit, how they ain't worth a damn, how they pussy stank and all kind of shit. Now, these are the same people that are having to hear that. Trinity, it's on you. I am smoking. I'm fucking pissed.
Yeah, that's I don't even at this point it's just like I'm just still lost for words, DZ. It's like I don't know.
People that's denying the shit, that's what really gets up under my skin. Not the news story itself or the news stories themselves. It's the fact that these are out here available to anybody that got two fingers and know how to type on their device. It's at their fingertips and they're still sitting up here talking about it's not happening. And shame on that bitch on that other live that was saying we need to have some accountability. We have been held accountable. We're being held accountable right now.
For what?
For what's going on in the community since the men left, right? And we were the adults that were left in the community. Then what's happening now is our fault. You can't make this shit up.
But
she's got bricks for brains. If she said that shit, she's got bricks for freaking brains.
But Black men have never left the community, though. They just left their homes. They have been running amok in the communities. So I don't understand why people keep saying that. And listen, I know people are tired of me saying it, but we do. We live in a Black male worshiping culture. I mean, what else can I say? It just is what it is. Black men are the ones running amok in the community. It's not the fact that, people want to say it's single mothers and all this other shit. Even when they have fathers, because I know Black boys who have both parents and they were still terrorizing the classrooms and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. So
it's the Black collective. It's basically feeding off of itself. Okay. And little girls learn from very young. Oh, don't tell on so-and-so. Don't tell on so-and-so. And now look what we got.
He just told that little boy that. That's what the news reporter said.
Yes.
Let him out on the street. Didn't know where he was, talking about don't tell nobody.
They want sex without accountability. They want, they want a housing without accountability. They want to eat without accountability. They want to have kids without accountability. What's next? We should not even be surprised.
That's their culture, though. Like when other groups of people are saying, I don't want my daughters dating y'all, and they're like, racism, it's racism. No, it's your culture. Your culture is of degeneracy. Your culture is single motherhood. You abandon. I don't even like using that term. Let's switch it over. It's a father abandonment. You abandon your children. It's pump and dump culture. Nobody wants their children to marry into a degenerate pump and dump culture that's misogynistic and anti-Black women and children.
Amen.
It's their culture. It's morality. You can't teach you can't teach these fuckheads to be like normal. Like they think it's abnormal to open the door for a woman. They think it's abnormal to pay for a fucking meal. They think it's abnormal to work, to build, to provide. They are shit stains. Yeah, to wash. Their hygiene is disgusting. They are single-handedly the reason why Black women have the highest HIV rate. Do you guys hear what's happening right now in Atlanta? Black women, look, Atlanta, I think it's Buckhead that's trying to separate from Atlanta because niggas like to nignog. They are stealing, raping, harassing, giving people AIDS, all types of crazy shit. And now they're killing white women. Everywhere they go, shit crumbles. Their culture is trash. And unfortunately, white people and other races of people can't say shit because the world has victimized them. And you have the, I don't want to get into politics, but you do have the liberal left that weaponize that and make money off of it. So it's a real thing. And they want to blame it on their skin color. It has nothing to do with their skin color and everything to do with their behavior. And nobody is talking about that. Their morality is garbage. Nobody wants their kids to marry into that. Run for your lives. I'm married to a black man. And we've had these conversations. We already said, like, I don't give a fuck. I'm telling my kids, don't bring home nothing that comes from a black man. Period. I don't give a fuck. And people can say, well, that's a racist, big talk. That fuck you. I work hard for my shit. My husband worked hard for his shit. We have a fucking legacy. You think I'm gonna marry well, do well, birth you, and you're gonna go out and bring some we were slaves and this is how No. That shit was going on before they even got here.
Yeah.
It's true. Unapologetic. This other person's name is Unapologetic. Is that a troll or can you tell?
Oh, I ain't even paying attention. What they doing?
Like
is that their name?
Yeah, let me see what's up.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. No. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I thought you was using her name.
No, I didn't even. I was thinking about it before I even got on here. I'm actually in here under Phoenix Rising Mystical Insights. I'm also a blogger, but I don't do what you do. I'm a reader. I just it's I'm shocked because I just did a 4-hour message, a channeled message and I looked on here and seeing you speaking on this, and I was just trying to warn women on I'm a reader, so I deal with tarot, and a lot of people aren't into that. It's cool. It may scare people, but it's cool. And I felt this so strongly that I couldn't even finish doing my hair. I was getting ready to. I can't. They get someone was like, "Go tell them. Go tell them." And I know a lot of the times, a lot of black women can get mad when you tell them the truth, when simply you're just trying to warn them. And I look on here, and I see any hole is not safe or anything like that. And I had to laugh, but at the same time, when I saw the ones in the chat, including myself.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
I'm not now that I'm 39 now, because it made me more aware, and I'll never be a mammy. When I see women out here, I am very blunt. I have a very razor tongue. Like my mouth is very sharp. It's very difficult for me to talk nice about real stuff. So when I see, black women out here that run from the truth when they know this may have happened to them or it can happen to their daughters, or they choose these guys over their daughters and put them in harm's way to where they're getting molested, touched inappropriately. Some of them even get pregnant from the guys. One of their many boyfriends may impregnate their daughters, and then they call them fast or grown. And really the secret with that little girl could be that she is carrying a 30-some 40, that doesn't happen to me, but a 30 or 40 something year old grown man's child. She has to blame it on somebody in school. A lot of these girls that you think got pregnant from somebody in high school most likely got pregnant from one of their mom's many different dudes. And that's her little secret. The boy in high school is thinking that that's his kid. She may put him on child support. He may not know because he, may have never had, oh my God, it's my kid. And so he gets put on child support when really she is covering for the mama's many boyfriends, and she may have several of them coming in and out her door. She knows she's scared to tell on him, so she puts it on another guy, a grown man.
Their own fathers do this.
Yes.
Their own fathers do this to girls. I know of one woman who got pregnant by her own father, who started when she was 10.
I can't. I'm going to play the next video, and then we're going to go to Aisha. So give me a second. This is disgusting. All of it is just fucking disgusting.
If you live in a qualified zip code, you may be eligible to receive USA-made solar panels for no cost at install.
Relief for Tulsa sex crimes detectives after a huge victory in court.
40-year-old Eric Farbs will spend the rest of his life behind bars after raping a then 10-year-old family member and getting her pregnant. 2 News reporter Liz Bryant found she's not the only victim and not the only relative. Liz joins us now with new information. Liz?
Well, Russ, detectives tell me, Farbs, they know of 3 of his victims in this case, a 10-year-old, 13-year-old, and 14-year-old. They tell me he preyed on girls with developmental disorders, but first had to get to them, so he dated women with young girls.
Presented to the DA's office.
Detective Kathy Steele has worked the last year here at Tulsa's Justice Center to put this man, Eric Farbs, behind bars.
This is a difficult job, so when I get news like this, it's just very, very rewarding. It makes it all worthwhile.
Detective Steele met Farbs' latest rape victim in April after she complained of abdominal pains and swelling. A pediatrician found she was 21 weeks pregnant. The 11-year-old told detectives Farbs started repeatedly raping her at age 10 and then threatened to kill her if she told.
She knew it was wrong. She knew what was happening to her was wrong, but she didn't understand. And then obviously the pregnancy, she had no clue that the two were even related.
Detective Steele says this case is infuriating because Farbs could have been stopped. A few years before, he got his then girlfriend's 13-year-old daughter pregnant, and a judge reduced that to a misdemeanor. Then Farbs dated another woman and married her, and is now charged with inappropriately touching 2 girls inside that home.
If something would have been done the first time or even the second time, maybe she would not be in the situation she's in today and will be affected for the rest of her life by.
As for his latest victim, after many complications, the now 12-year-old gave birth 2 months early. She's now raising her baby with the help of family.
She went to school pregnant in elementary, so her friends and everybody that she's associated with, I'm sure, are aware of what happened to her. So, I mean, I'm sure it will be definite long-term. She's definitely going to need some counseling, probably for the rest of her life.
And detectives tell me they immediately matched the baby's DNA back to Farbs. DHS is closely monitoring that family.
When I think of an elementary school kid, y'all, that ain't it. That ain't it. I'm thinking of pigtails and toys and shit like that. And Bougie, you're good, baby. I'm just going to edit it. It's all good. When I think of y'all know what the act of sex looks like. And the last thing you want to picture when you think of sex is somebody fucking with a goddamn elementary school kid. But this is how they get down. This is how they get down. Go ahead.
DZ.
Yes, ma'am.
It's making me so effing angry.
Girl.
And I am mad at her parents. Like, okay, once you found out that this man violated her and impregnated her, why wouldn't you, even if she was too far along to get an abortion, why wouldn't you take that baby, give it up for adoption, give her a chance to try to get over it as much as possible and still be a child? Why are you trying to force her to be a fucking parent when she didn't want to, and she's not mentally and emotionally nothing equipped to try to be nobody fucking mama?
I mean, she's not even fully developed.
It makes me exactly nothing's fully developed. Her body, her mindset, nothing. And you gonna have her had a motherfucker baby. Why would you allow her to give birth to this demon's child and try? And then why would y'all keep it? Like
the little girls do not matter. The dusty matters
God.
in black skin. That's the only thing that matters.
And it's only going to get worse. And I think it's just so crazy because the amount of women, especially black women, not every black woman, but I feel like a lot of black women have tried to sound the alarm over the years to only be shouted down, yelled at, just basically degraded for trying to sound the alarm on what's happening. And no one cares. Like you said, DZ, nobody cares about the little girls. There's only the dusties that matter. And it's only going to get worse. I don't see it getting better before it's getting worse because these women are still marrying these men, still bringing them into their homes, still putting them around their children. It's only going to get worse. The teenage pregnancy is probably down right now, but it's going to keep going up because with COVID, and we're going to go back into another lockdown. Guess what? They're going to bring the dusties back into their homes with their children once we get the lockdown started. So it's only going to get worse.
When those numbers come out,
By the way, of all the group of women, black women have had the highest HIV rate since the 1990s.
Yeah, because their dusty is out here slinging everything in every hole that they have access to. Not that's being given to them, that they have access to. You don't have to give them permission. Period. If they want to do it, they do it because somebody's going to make excuses for them. And if you get the right mammy, the dude we just talked about, they can twist that too. You know, he has untreated mental health conditions. He has the brain function of a 10-year-old. That's why he relates to her. I mean, it's just always something.
Yeah, it's always an excuse.
I'm sorry, somebody like that would put me in prison because he wouldn't be breathing. I'm going to be very honest. I would wear that orange fucking suit to see him dead.
Girl, okay, I'll torturize the shit out of his ass.
This is what I'm saying, DZ. I mean, I literally just did I was just doing a channeling about this, and I'm literally having, I'm having a hair stand on my arm because this is how quick, this is how you know something is on point. And I was telling the ladies to make sure that they get armed. So
Yeah.
many black women could have saved their lives. From the lady who just got stabbed over 130 times, the nurse that was killed by one of the
What?
homosexual. She was a nurse with a homosexual that drove her to her death in her own car. They picked her up from the same hospital that she had to get driven to when she died at after being stabbed over 130 times by her homosexual. I've been telling women, black women don't want to hear you. They'd rather die and be murdered or have their kids be molested.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear you. So whatever, I get away. But I'm armed and I have what I need to protect myself. They need women, if you're going to be friends with each other, don't just be together gossiping about he say, she look good. He said this, he doing this, and me, he took, he's got. Go to get together. Don't cutthroat each other. Stop fighting over dudes because 9 times out of 10, all these women gonna be in the same position, sharing the same dudes with children that are all sisters and brothers, with mothers that are the only thing that separates them, but they're all related. These women, every last one of them are going to be related by their children. The whole community is related through the guys that they sleep with, to where half of the hoods are all related. They're all relatives because they're sharing the same guys, either because of incest or because they are literally sleeping with these guys and birthing their seeds into this earth. A lot of these little children need to be put in what do you call it, self defense classes, and the women as friends, instead of going to the club and getting drunk together, go to self defense class together, go to gun ranges together.
Yeah, I
Teach.
have to add to the gun range thing. Amani
Yeah.
says she needs to get armed. Please do, because I don't give a fuck what the law is in your state. It's better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Blow that fucking do rag clean off.
Yeah, wait, and on top, and on, and on top of that, just keep picturing the do rag getting blown up. I'm sorry. On top of that, get them out your house because I saw a lot of women talking about this winter coming stuff, and I don't get triggered by this stuff. I just know that a lot of women are about to go into lockdown and hibernation with the very guy that could be me. By the time he leaves, he'll be sleeping with the sons and the daughters. He using you to get to your 16-year-old, 13-year-old daughter, or possibly your 10, 9-year, 8-year-old son and daughter. Your daughter may not be able to tell you because she's scared, and he doesn't really want these mothers. He don't want you. He wants your children. They target women with children, and if you're a single woman, he targets you because he wants to be taken care of, to use your house as an alibi for the guy that was the Uber driver that was living as a homosexual with a black woman and her daughter. He went and pretended to be a Uber. And once again, they're stabbing now. I guess they're getting tired of their pistols because they know they can't aim right, just like their penis. But anyway, he stabbed this woman over 100 times too, to where there was blood, so much blood that it was leaking through his Impala under the car and all trapped in the seats. This man went to this woman's house and was living with her, and this woman was oblivious. She wasn't putting two and two together. He cleaned the bloody knife in front of her, cleaned the bloody car when he went to pick her up to take her to work, and then lived in her place. She still didn't get it until she saw on the news that Impala for a murder for a man that killed a woman pretending to be an Uber driver. This is just 2 years ago. These women don't have guns.
She wanted that damn fairy tale so fucking bad that she ignoring all kind of red flags.
But look what could happen to her daughter.
Yeah.
What could happen to her daughter? These women don't have guns. They depend. This is what Lil Nas X. All black women, please, and all women, even if you're Dominican Republic, they love going to Brazil. Ladies, look, Brazilian women too. Go look at Lil Nas X and congratulate Lil Nas X for what he's doing. Don't get sick and nauseous. Really, you need to be signed up and subscribing to his channel because he's showing you what's going on. He showed at the end of that video that all these men getting out when they were just popping their butts. They getting out and they're running straight to your house. They come into you because you have children and food, and they run into you to take care of them, and they're going to look tough, tattoos. They're going to look buff. They're not going to tell you what they're in there for. Could be molestation, pedophilia, murder. You're not going to care. A lot of these women, they like that. until they end up dead or their daughters end up dead or molested or pregnant. Y'all go watch that Industry Baby by Lil Nas X and see what he's telling
We
you.
saw that fucking shit. It was off the chain.
My God.
Y'all
Be
getting ready to get
careful.
real disgusted by this next one because this is the one that got me. So here we go.
Police and doctors say the abuse that killed an 8-month-old baby girl was no accident.
I know this bitch.
Tonight,
I
know about
this.
the
Why he
calls.
fucking crying?
What
Oh my
the
God.
Pause for the calls, y'all. Is he in there wailing like a donkey that's being beat to death? I can't. No, you ignored
This
the
guy is target practice. He is target fucking practice. I'm
Tonight,
sorry.
that child's father is charged with her murder and sexual assault. Thanks for being with us for the news at 5 o'clock. Police and paramedics rushed to a motel in Inkster last Thursday on a report of an 8-month-old not breathing.
A little girl died from her extensive injuries on Sunday, and now her 22-year-old father is accused of killing her. Let's bring in Mara McDonald. Mara, the injuries that the girl sustained are just horrific.
They're bad, Devin, and that's just for starters here. We're talking about multiple skull fractures, a brain bleed, a retinal hemorrhage, and then there are other injuries that we're not going to get very specific on. Let me explain.
Please stand to your feet.
22-year-old James Saltmarshall spent the majority of his arraignment moaning with his hands covering his mouth.
Count 1, felony murder, homicide.
When paramedics got to the Alpine Motel in Inkster last Thursday, Saltmarshall's 8-month-old baby girl wasn't breathing. He had been left to care for her at the motel while the child's mother was at work. Doctors at Children's Hospital detailed the injuries that killed the little girl for detectives.
They thought there was a child had skull fractures, brain swelling, and some other bruising.
It was the head injuries that killed her, but doctors also found extensive evidence of sexual assault. Saltmarshall, for his part, originally told police he fell asleep with his little girl in the crook of his arm and then woke up to her not breathing. Doctors say, no way is that what happened.
That you did knowingly or intentionally cause serious physical harm to a child. That's a felony punishable by up to life in prison.
Back here live, detectives say that after they interviewed Saltmarshall extensively, after he first said that his daughter never fell, she never was shaken, anything like that, he then changed his story to say that, well, maybe she had fallen out of bed. Still, doctors say that his story just doesn't add up. The judge put him in jail with a $2 million bond. Kimberly.
I'm pissed he got a bond. Excuse me? I'm pissed he got a bond.
That's okay, DZ, because he ain't gonna last 6 months in jail.
Yeah,
I'm
the
serious.
other
Somebody's
hoes,
gonna get him.
the other hoes we ain't talking about is them co-prison holes. When there's none of us nearby, guess who's next, prison buddy? You. Your little ass. Okay?
You know what, DZ?
Oh, and that dude got out too. They didn't keep him in there.
Somebody bailed him out?
The judge changed either his bail or changed dropped some charges or something, and he ended up getting out. Did you watch the whole thing? Because if you watch the whole thing, they'll do an update and you'll see him talking, and he'll be like, "I didn't do nothing to my daughter. That's why they changed it and let me out." Because you got to watch the whole thing. I hate him.
Jesus Christ.
Do y'all remember those movies back in the day when they try to tell you about history? And I always thought something was wrong with the story based upon no matter what age we are, you all. I'm an 80s baby. So I remember seeing guys doing certain things and just being predatory, creepy, and all the women would just like hide it. And I start watching these movies back in the day about I don't know if I could say that, the lynching and the hanging and stuff like that. What happened to the men and how they try to make you feel sorry and why they did that. But then when I saw that a lot of, I always knew something was wrong because I see some of this stuff still happening to women in Africa. If you are in here and you're from Africa, I have the most respect for you ladies. Please don't think I'm saying anything offensive. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's still things happening.
We got some folks from Africa in here, and they know exactly what's up.
I feel so bad. I have so much respect for those. Like, they go through so much pain. I met a couple ladies and they have so much pain in their eyes. Like, you can see in their eyes, but damn, and, excuse me, but I see why they were being castrated because I believe it that they are very sexually perverse. They were really taking advantage of
the first thing you have to do with a suspect is what? remove their arm.
Balls. And that's
That's their
why the men did
arm.
that. They did the stuff when they took their balls, because
Yeah.
when they tried their daughters and their women, they put it out there for everybody to see, and that lets you know what they did. And then they try to change it so they never touched anybody. That's why they did that publicly, to let them know to the other ones, this is what happened when you touch our women. Now what you do to your women, that ain't cool, but y'all need to be standing up for y'all women. And that's sad, because they never stood up for us. They never did. A few of them did, but a lot of them didn't, and that's why this
Man,
was
fuck the
happening.
ones that did too, because you get what I'm saying? It's too many of them quiet, to be honest with you.
That's
Not
why
sh-
they did it, because the
not-
women, they were RN their own daughters at 8 years old. They would take them as grown. They still doing this in certain parts of Africa, and they would take these women and make their little girls, and the mammies would make them into women. Go on over there, get on over there. We ain't got no food for you over here. Go on, we got to get some food. So they would take those girls and send them off to 30, 40, 50-year-old men to sleep with them, and they would just keep doing it. That's why you had women with like 10 to 15 babies. They would keep impregnating them so they couldn't leave, and they would do this to all the little girls. Their own culture, black men would do this to them. And when they try to do it to the white women, their men came out there and took them into the woods and cut their balls off. You're
That's
not
why
touching us.
that's why it
No.
freaks out black
But
women. So hold on a second. That's why it freaks out black women so bad when they see the cops or whoever detaining black men. They don't know what protection looks like. So when they see somebody being protected, they freak the fuck out and call it police brutality. Ma'am, they're protecting their community. That's what that is. You got it all fucked up. Thank
and
you
that's
for being training.
That's why, you know how sometimes they send out the Amber Alerts and nobody look for the black girls, but they always look for the white girls. It's not because of what we think. It's because they are going to call it out. Our culture and black women, they take up for their sons, and these perverts and these rapists and these pedophiles, they cover them. And in their culture, they put them on blast. And just like back in the day, they will put them on and cut their balls off so that they can not only can you not do that, you can't reproduce, you can't touch nobody else at all, and they would just bleed to death. But
That
in their
is
culture,
the
they
truth.
lock them up, and that's why, because that's why they protect their women. They don't
Hold on.
protect us.
The reason that hold on one second. The reason that they take that dick off is the same reason that they will tell a suspect to drop his firearm. You have to remove the suspect from their weapon. That dick is their weapon. That's why. Go ahead, whoever was calling me.
Hi, DZ.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me tell you one thing if I don't tell you two. These bitches is tired and fucking delayed out here. Delayed, honey. Okay?
Facts.
I saw that damn case in South Carolina that killed that girl with stabbed her up. Maria, that's who y'all was talking about, okay? She asked this fool, why you got blood in the car? What, you hit a dog? She asked him, this nigga gonna tell her, mind your business. Okay? This nigga ain't bathed 2 days. They asked her what she was doing. She said, watching a movie. They said, what you was watching? She said Netflix or some crazy shit. She still fucked that nigga. These bitches is tired and delayed. Then the mama stood up, told me, I know my son ain't do this. I know he ain't do this. And the daddy couldn't even damn near talk. Talking about some, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. But I got 4 kids outside of his mama. Tired and fucking delayed.
DZ?
What we gonna just, yeah.
What we gonna do? Because my great uncle was a serial rapist. He did not serve a day in jail because the entire community took up for him. My grandfather was like, well, don't go over there. Don't be with him by yourself. Telling his girls that instead of sending the motherfucker to jail. The man was a serial rapist. I don't know how many victims he had, but he got away with that mess. That's what the Blackistan community is.
Yeah, that boils my blood. Like, y'all know this person is a rapist. They touch kids. Something ain't right in their head. Don't tell the kids, oh, don't wear that. Oh, don't be around them by yourself.
Right.
Why in the fuck are y'all still allowing this person to be around your family anyway?
Period.
Like,
because they're the only ones that matter. Only the males matter. That's
Will we be able to create laws? Is it okay? Will we be able to, if it's enough of us women out here, instead of just sitting in the jail for them to get back out after a certain amount of time and come back out and molest someone else? Is there a way for Black women to come together in our community the way that in other cultures they're able to they're going to get a lot of time for messing with their daughters and their women, but in our cultures they barely get 7 months or a year? How can we come together and make it to where they could get castrated? Isn't that what they do when they take the balls off?
Well, even if we wanted to be honest
Yeah,
with
the
you,
mammies would
the
stop us.
mammies ain't going for that.
Mammies will get you.
There's no sisterhood. I mean, Black
Blue
women,
knees.
they don't
will
care about each
K-word
other.
you.
What did they
The
knee them in the
mammies would
knees? Knee them in the balls.
the mammies would K-word you if you tried to mess with Tyrone, for real. So I wouldn't even try that.
What did
Yeah,
they put
there's
put
no
the mama in there?
sisterhood.
What did they put the mama in jail with them? That way they could be happy together.
Girl, that's the whole.
Divested
They had to put the
women.
whole community up in there because everybody takes up for them. They'd have to arrest the whole block trying to punish this goddamn dude.
Divested women would just do well to go away. And I mean way away. Don't try to help. Don't try to fix. Don't try to preach. Don't try to teach. Okay? Just go the hell away.
Nasha B, welcome to the panel, honey.
Hi, DZ and panel. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So good evening, ladies, chat. Like, who child? Listen, I'm over here shaking. I'm so infuriated. The level of neglect that young Black women have experienced, it is beyond. Look, that's my little girl now. It is beyond infuriating. And I think what angers me the most is that people will try to gaslight you and say, well, Black women, when you date out, you're going to be a fetish and you're going to be this. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Long before a young Black woman goes out into the world, she experiences physical abuse, sexual abuse, misogyny, and colorism, texturism, futurism in her own damn communities.
Right.
What the fuck do I have to worry about what's outside? The bullshit is right there in the house.
Well, all of that you just mentioned ain't as bad as some white man telling you have a nice ass.
Right.
You got to worry about that first.
Right. Got to worry about that because that's way worse, than anything else that I went through before the damn age of 10 years old. And yes, Black women, we have got to really assess how the hell we're treating our children. Like, we cuddle our sons, we raise our daughters, we're instilling in them this strong woman bullshit that is not beneficial to them. At this point, I'm sorry, I have a son.
In Montgomery County officials.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No problem. At this point, I have a son, but fuck these sons. Fuck them.
Facts.
No,
Facts.
And I have a son, but fuck these sons. Because if the men in our community can't get their bullshit together and start raising these sons, then fuck them.
They're not going to. They're never going to do that.
Because I'm telling you right now, I put a hot one in somebody for my daughter. You understand? I'm sorry. Because I know nobody else is going to do it. Yeah. But let something happen to my son and the whole fucking world and Black Lives Matter and all the other motherfuckers going to come out the woodwork.
Shutting down highways
to march for him,
shit.
Even if he's some trash. That woman testifying in court for that murder in South Carolina about her son was raised well, and I was like, you have to be kidding me. If my son goes out and stabs a woman over 100 times, you understand, I'm gonna spit on this motherfucker and walk the fuck out the court. Right, bitch, because you brought shame to the family. Okay, you can do whatever the hell you do. Don't drop the motherfucking soap.
Facts.
DZ, I have a quick question for everybody.
Amen.
If I can.
Amen.
Can I ask a quick question for everybody? It's very quickly. I just want everybody to really, for the Black women in here, to really think about this. For the, I don't want to say the wrong way, Caucasian ladies or European or white ladies, however I say this, I want them to understand this too. I want y'all to hear this. Okay, you know how we say we're divesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, their women, they're going to really put their women first. This is how they're raised, right? And they have problems too. But when it comes to us, we're going to have to do something because their women aren't going to really want to share their men with us.
Well, somebody that haven't had a choice for 26 years. I already took them. It's not up to them.
Me
That's
too.
number
Be-
one.
Oh yeah,
Becky
they,
doesn't
oh yeah,
think like
they're
that.
getting took.
But
Oh,
would
they
you?
No, Becky doesn't think like that, love. Becky, when she want her man, she get her man. She not worried
Yep.
about no other woman.
Mm.
Even if
But
she got to get him under you, she gonna get her man. She don't think like that.
so what would the rest of the
Like,
black women do? Out of all the, it's a lot. You know how many black dudes there are out here leaving? I don't have children, but that have made children with a lot of women, and these women are tired. And for the women who don't have children with them at all, that want nothing to do with them, their women are. I know when they look at our culture, they're like, "Gosh, whoo, I'm glad I wasn't born into that. I'm not gonna let him go." So what will these women do? Who
Well,
will they
there's
be
other
with?
men
no,
out
that's what
here
Yeah.
other
I'm
than.
saying. Oh, I'm
Hold on
sorry.
1 second,
Mm-hmm.
babe. There's other
Mm-hmm.
men out here besides white men. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, anything black women have ever done, we've never asked permission from Baxter for it.
Right.
And no, we don't need to start now.
I mean, DC, they make me feel gay. Like I thought, I'm asexual only because of them, only because of, I've been through that too. I put one in the chat too. But what
Mhm.
black men make me feel gay. Like when I look dudish around them because I don't want them looking at me or touching me. Only around them. But I've met some of the kindest guys from other cultures where I mean, I'm one of the toughest women you will ever meet. And I feel like I don't have to be that way, but I still stand my ground. But around them, they make me feel like I'm gay. They really do. And I'm asexual. I don't mess with anybody. It's the
can I
truth.
can I say
Yeah, but
something?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have to say to what the young lady just said about non-black men. Um, Brad is tired of Becky's bullshit.
He is.
Okay, Brad is real fucking tired of her bullshit. He has set up this fantastic community, and all the hell she wants to do is be the boss and, have his balls in her hand. There's a lot of non-black men who are sick of their women's bullshit. And I'm sorry, black women been popping, but we've been closed off. Now that they're getting the memo that we are, available and interested, oh, this whole fucking landscape is about to change.
Oh,
Men
yes.
men go after what they want. I'm dating a Greek guy as we speak, fine as fuck. Okay, and we're good. Understand over here. He loves all of this shit. So, this whole thought that really black women have been our biggest obstacle when it comes to finding viable mates outside of the black community.
Yep.
A lot of non-black men look at us, they're attracted. They're not blind. What the fuck? You see us over here, okay? But black women have been so isolated. And then every time some shit pop off, we the main ones in the street talking about rah rah, don't kill our brothers. And they looking like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, she on that bullshit too.
Not me.
again, as I was saying, black women have that mentality. This is why this is really deep, because Becky and non-black women, when they want their man, they get their man no matter what race that man is. They don't think like that. They don't think about another woman and what another woman can get. She's only going to get what she can get. This is why Becky, if he's a football player, she'll be right under his ass because she could see that he about to make it, but
Yep.
she'll get her man.
Yep.
Black women don't have that same type. I'm not trying to down my own. I'm just saying black women have this mentality of fighting over men and all this kind of stuff. I'm not saying
Right.
Becky don't. I didn't say that. But Becky knows how to get her man because she believes in love. She believes in fantasy soulmates and twin flames, and
She
gonna get her
believes in
man.
putting herself first.
Yeah.
She believes in
she
putting
believes in herself first.
Mm-hmm.
She
I don't think she
learns
believe
from
in
her
love.
white daddy. She learns from her white daddy how to do that. That's what
Let's
makes
do
her
this.
so ruthless. Mhm.
Let's do this last video, and we'll be done with the triggering part of this shit here. But this is also triggering, so.
In Montgomery County, officials have announced the arrest of a man in one of the most heinous crimes one could imagine. 29-year-old Austin Stevens has been charged with deviant sexual intercourse in connection to the death of his 10-month-old daughter. Action News reporter Christy Aletto is live at Lower Providence Police. Christy.
That's right, Jim. The district attorney called it deeply disturbing. He says the 10-month-old was assaulted and raped by her own father. And apparently when she stopped breathing, it's alleged that he waited over an hour before calling for help.
Saturday was a nightmare for
all of us.
Montgomery County District Attorney Kevin Steele describing what happened when paramedics were finally called to the 3400 block of Germantown Pike. An unresponsive 10-month-old Zara Scruggs was discovered with her father, Austin Stevens, who now faces aggravated assault and rape, among other charges.
It's hard to imagine how this child's death could be any more traumatic. Sexual assault on an infant is heinous.
Court records reveal the infant had blunt force trauma to the head and was raped, and that the 29-year-old father conducted multiple Google searches, including how do you know if a baby is dead, in the hour after she stopped breathing before ever calling 911.
Stevens also conducted social media and text conversations with 2 women during the time that were not related to the baby's condition, followed by the inaction of her father to save her life, all led to this child's death.
According to his social media and friends, Stevens is a co-owner of Black Diamond Construction. His colleagues say this is not his character and think there are some other variables in play resulting in the charges.
Now, I'm going to stop that right there. And I'm getting ready to tell y'all something.
Thank
When
God.
I used to be on Facebook, you're not going to believe me when I tell you this. I shared this story to my page. There was a bitch in the comment section saying, but he cute though.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Oh my God.
I sure
Do you
researched it too.
understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
She said, but he cute though. So, of course, the bitch got blocked.
He's a Pisces. I did the research too, DZ.
I can't do this.
They hate their own kids.
They do.
don't
They
even care
do. They
about
don't want to be
their own
bothered. They don't
children.
want to be bothered with their own as they say, seed. They don't want to be bothered with them. They feel like they are a burden.
So black women, if he can't care for his own progeny, how in the fuck is he going to care about your ass?
Thank you.
You know what makes me mad? They're saying, oh, there has to be some other variables. I don't give a fuck if you're drunk, high. It don't matter. If that shit is in your head or a part of you already, you're gonna do it. You don't need the drugs or whatever you on. Doesn't matter. If you're a rapist, you're a fucking rapist, whether you're drunk or sober.
That shit said that he penetrated that baby.
Oh,
Those of you
poor
in
thing.
healthcare, divested OG, unapologetic, sometimes even L, y'all know how small these girls are.
Aw.
The simple act of putting anything in them can kill them.
Can kill them. Their bodies aren't made for stuff like that.
And this son of a bitch fully inserted his penis
Oh my God.
in that 10-month-old baby. These are the facts.
Is he
But
dead
he's cute
yet?
though. No,
Is
his
he
punk
dead?
ass ain't dead. Nope. He's getting a fair trial like they all do in this so-called racist system.
All that every child is a blessing stuff that the black community likes to tout is nonsense. It's obvious. at
My
this
blood
point.
is just boiling.
Well, that's why that baby is a blessing thing. That's why they made that 10-year-old baby that was raped, the couple stories ago that DZ posted. That's why they made her keep that baby and become a parent at damn 11 years old. Oh, well, it's a blessing. God don't
Yep.
make no mistakes. Like,
Mhm.
shut
Yep.
up. Use your damn common sense.
So wasn't
Well, they probably
adoption
don't have no common sense then. Shit.
adoption wasn't even an option?
Yeah.
Adopting the baby out wasn't even an option for this 12-year-old.
Girl, you know, black people don't think about or do no research on what it takes to really actually do an adoption. They didn't do that research. They didn't research that shit.
Karen, your device is not connected. I hope you're a real Karen. This is gonna be real
Yes,
good.
I think that's the lady from Africa. I was listening to her.
Oh, okay. She changed the picture. There it is.
It has to be her. I feel it. I feel it in my soul because I
Welcome,
connected
dark
with her.
gentlewoman. It's on you.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm sorry because my headphones be tripping. No, I and I'd asked you earlier, but I don't know if you saw it about the 11-year-old girl. She was 21 weeks along. Would that have been because I'm not in the medical field at all, but could that have been done you
in
know.
certain states. The rules are different in certain states.
Okay.
She's so small though.
Right,
There's
right.
not really any studies per se that would have told you whether she'd have bled to death or not, because 11-year-olds aren't supposed to be pregnant to begin with. So
Exactly.
but
I
for
mean,
everybody else, it depends on the state. If you get a heartbeat in
okay.
Georgia, you can't get nothing done. In other
Okay,
states,
because
they go up to 5 months.
that's 5 months. Because that's 5 months. She would have to have a special procedure. I won't get into it because I don't want to get your channel flagged. Where they would euthanize and then separate to get it out. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, it would.
Because I'm
It
trying
would
to
be,
remember. My mother's a retired nurse. You know.
it would be.
That can be done.
Yeah, it would be it would be very gruesome.
Right, but I mean, it could be done. And did she have a boy? I'm just curious.
I'm not sure what she had, honestly. Any of y'all know what that baby was?
Because
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna tell you right now. There are and we'll talk about this. I had a chance to see a film in other cultures. When that happens, they don't you know, you know, just chuck it up and don't, you know, and throw away. You get what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
would not let a child come into the world like that, because they believe that the spirit transfers to another, you know, that the spirit of that demonic father would transfer to the baby, especially if it's a boy. So my thing is this too, because I know there are mammies listening, because you know there's more lurkers than likes. You know, something like that happens to somebody in your family, you need to go to the chop shop. You need to go to the chop shop. That is not a blessing. Okay. That is not a blessing. You need to go to the I'm an advocate for the chop shop. Here's another thing. Somebody mentioned the Violence Against Women Act. The only reason that didn't pass is because somebody tried to sneak in an anti chop shop law. Okay. And that would have outlawed, you know, that procedure.
Right.
Pregnancy termination. You know what I'm saying? Right. Exactly. Pregnancy termination. That would have eliminated that. So, you know, I think for purposes of law, if we could get that Violence Against Women Act without, you know, and tell people, hey, keep that chop shop law out of that, you know. I mean, I think it could pass, but that's the thing is, you know, you know, Becky, you know, if something like this happened to a Becky would go get it handled at a private clinic. The thing is that the public clinics still need to be funded, because, you know, in our communities, we don't have access to those clinics. Okay.
Oh my goodness. And now they're doing stuff to stop the you know, I don't want to say the word, but you know what I mean, everybody in DZ. They're trying to do stuff to make women not have the option to, you know, terminate if the, you know, with these guys trying to get their demon seeds into this earth. And these kings, they making it to where now they don't have that option now. So these women are being forced to I'm pro-choice too. They're making them keep it.
Until they change these laws or what have you, I would suggest just not even engaging.
Same
You get in
here.
a situation, it's gonna be, you know, horrific for you. And for the girl that was in the chat that said it's 21 weeks too late, they could do it, but that's kind of far along, especially for an 11-year-old. But I'm thinking a specialist could take care of it in the state that it's legal.
DZ?
Yes, ma'am.
There is a Nignog claiming that they are a Becky in the back chat, saying Becky for BBC.
Yeah, I saw.
All you divestors keep talking about dating non-black men, but how many of you on the panel are married? I bet you my white skin that less than 10% of you on the panel are married. No, what? No man is? What the fuck? You can't even type.
That should make any of us mad. We should be happy we're not
No
married
man
to them.
is marrying black women. Stop disrespecting white women on the panel. Sir, we know you're a Nignog. No white, like what white woman that likes you anyway would even put their name as Becky for BBC. Like, come on.
No, I would tell
Stop
Becky,
it.
I would tell any white woman, please don't do it. Please be grateful for the community. And I know they go through things just like we do sometimes, but don't go to them. Stay away from Tyrone, please. Don't, because you're subjecting your kids, you're subjecting yourself. You're going to go down in poverty. You're going to be pushing 5 strollers. You're going to meet their mammy. You're going to go. You're going to be poor. You're going to be living in impoverished areas. Girl, why would you leave where you're at to come to the hood?
Well, they can go. It'll be more room for deserving, divested black
Right.
women.
They
Okay.
can say what they want about Margaret Sanger. That bitch had the right idea.
Well, Margaret Sanger's mother had like 8 children and a whole bunch of miscarriages. And being Irish, they were poor. I mean, poor as crap. But yeah, yay, Margaret.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Gonna end up looking like Iggy Azalea.
Oh God, I know she hates she did that.
Man,
that ain't no damn Becky. That is a Nog.
I think I saw him change his name. Let me tell you something though. They're one and the same in mindset. You know
They
that,
are.
right?
They're the natural counterparts for each other.
This is why he thinks that he can impersonate her. This is why he thinks he can impersonate because they know that they have the same brain.
Tyrone, is that you?
Huh?
Tyrone, is that you?
Oh, it's him. I saw him when he changed his damn name. You're not even slick with it. You got to be more crafty with it if you want to come up here and say I'm a Dusty, and then I throw your ass up off of here. Welcome to the panel, Karen.
Hi, hello.
Yes,
how are you ladies?
Good.
Oh, I'm just enjoying the conversation, and also the stories are very sad, but it's not so much different back home. Because in some part of my country, Nigeria, some in the northern part, kids are given away at the age of 10 to marriage. They said it's better. Some girls are married to men that are around 80 years, or even some that are even closer to death. You see the husband, he looks like he's going to die tomorrow, and they give up their daughters for cows and whatever they want to give it for. And it's a very shameful thing and very hurting. It's not something to be proud of. And another fact is, the women in my country, most of us, we don't have enough power. We don't have the rights. So sometimes we have to take matters into our own hands by just, making sure that person doesn't stay alive anymore.
Right.
I knew it was her. I knew it was Karen. What if we did something
And
like where the women could get some of these women out of these situations? Like, in America, for the women that are divested and are tired of being oppressed and taken advantage of, if women wouldn't be jealous of each other and be catty with each other, that would be so nice. But what if we could get the women that are going through this in all parts of the world, from Nigeria to Haiti, everywhere where they're going through this, and build our own communities for real, because women get stuff done.
We do get stuff.
Many times in my country, the women will just, there are many ways to dispose of men like that, because since we don't have the rights, we have other ways to make sure you don't stay alive anymore. And mostly the families will cover it up, or nobody will see the body. And the police, the law enforcement, they shoot anyway. So, yeah.
Yo, this subject was real, it was real triggering. I'm going to move on to the next subject. And I'm sorry to y'all in the chat and on the panel that have experienced the wiles of a goddamn Dusty. They're degenerate. And mammies, the lady up here was saying that she wants y'all out and we need to create some sort of way to get y'all up out of there.
Yes.
If you can hear us, you need to leave. I don't know who you are, but you need to listen to what we're saying and get the hell up out of there. I don't enjoy covering stuff like this, but some of y'all need to see shit like this so that we can counter your talking points that are completely fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
They're completely fucked up. So unless we have what they call in the hood receipts, you don't want to hear it. You start with the straw man arguments. So we had a baby as young as 8 months old, up to a lady that was 70 years old, and all in between, different genders, whatever. You need to get your Dusties or get away from the Dusties. If you want to stay, stay. Let me stop sharing this screen. And this now I'm getting ready to roast. Okay. Patricia said that she wanted to talk about why on earth ashy motherfuckers think that they can speak for men that are not black. And I was like, I agree. I know you've all seen the posts on Facebook and Twitter and all these goddamn spots where it's some dusty bitch talking about the white man don't want y'all. We the only motherfuckers that want you. Have y'all seen that?
No.
No.
Yes.
Did he
I've
have
seen
ashy
it.
lips?
I'm talking about the post itself where
Oh.
the ashy would come up and say or post, nobody wants you black women but us. White men don't want you. Other races of men don't want you. So you might as well, stick it out here. I know y'all have seen those posts before. So let's share this. And I brought one with me of an inbox of what I'm talking about right now. He says at 9:57 p.m. No white man is trying to get with your fat, ugly ass. Let's just stop there for a second. You see how he went straight for your self-esteem?
Yep.
Straight for your self-esteem, because any woman knows, if they're being honest, that men in power attract women. So he has to tell you he's not gonna want you. It's not a problem that you're gonna want him. He's not gonna want you. So you might as well stick around here. Then he gets worse. He says, when you get beaten and called a blank by Brad, you better not come complain about it on here. It didn't get a reaction at all. She didn't say anything back to him, whatever, because he's being ridiculous at this point and doesn't deserve a reply. So now he's angry.
Ew.
These are the men that said they are your only choice. Stupid black B, bedwench slave playho. Y'all, are you turned on yet? Are you turned on yet? So this lady down here, she replied, "Oh, I guess I'll just die then." She was being funny right there. She was being funny right there. This is a post from a woman that had just saw one of those posts that I was referring to. He says, men of other races don't want black women. You're stuck with my trash loser bottom ass.
Ew.
They think so bad of you that they know that they're at the bottom. Not only do they say you can't go anywhere, but you mammies kind of agree with them because you haven't gone anywhere. You haven't gone anywhere. Dark skin. I'm sorry. I always want to call you dark skin gentlewoman. Dark skin gentlewoman. It's on you, baby. Not your man.
Yeah, no. Listen, there's an excellent video on I'm not gonna say her name. She's new to me, but she explained how they devalue and then they gaslight and then they get angry. Here's the thing: the last thing what they do, and maybe she didn't cover that part, is that they resort to violence. Because see, there are quite a few of us that are like, okay, we know you lying, whatever, right? So the mammies that are stuck and don't want to leave, or that can't leave due to economics, they take it out on them. Have you noticed how the violence is ratcheting up?
Yeah, it's gonna get worse.
Right. Because listen, it's they say all this crap about that, the white man don't want you and this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 blah. Yes, somebody said stages of narcissistic abuse. Yes, that gets to their last tactic is violence. And what we've seen here tonight is violence. If that's not a warning, I don't know what is.
That was the next step. If they weren't over a device talking, that was the next step for sure. For sure. He's done everything that he can do over a device.
Exactly. Well,
if they were in person, he would have snatched her ass clean up.
Well, do you know? Okay, well, you do know that the woman who was called average at best, with kitten heels, you do know those. You do know those degenerates came to her business and
no.
Yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Came to her. This was on another channel. I'll try and see. I don't know if it's behind a paywall or not, but I'll try and send it to you.
If you're not talking, it's your mic.
They somebody got some wind blowing.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, they harassed her. They were, some came to her store, some were calling her store and calling her all kinds of names on the phone and then hanging up. She had her life threatened. I am dead serious. I am dead serious. Okay.
I believe you. That's
And
crazy.
the hint is this person's channel talks about colorism. This woman's channel talks about colorism. Don't mention her name in the chat. I don't.
Got you.
But you understand. But yes, they came to her business. Okay, the pet grooming business. All right, because basically, she had one child. She's doing really well. And she wants somebody who is her equal. She makes 6 figures. Yes, that's what those degenerates did. Okay, she had to get the law involved. She had to get law enforcement involved, an attorney involved. Do you hear me? The last resort is jealousy. Okay.
Has anybody seen an update on her? Is she still mammying and looking for black men's validation? What's going on with her now?
Well, she was talking to one of these gurus that just went to jail.
Wait, what?
a black woman that just went to jail. Pink is in her name. She just went to jail.
We're gonna have to talk about that. I don't know who you talking about.
Okay.
We'll tell you later.
Wait, I can put it in the private chat. I can put it in the private chat, and I can y'all can see it. I'm sorry, but
folks
that's
around here going to jail. God damn it!
Yeah. So she was with one of the level up gurus, and that guru went to jail. So I don't know where she was now. Like, I know she was talking to some black couple, a black married couple about her situation, and that's the last I heard of it, but yeah, she really needs to just not deal with them at all. Okay. And these are, there are men that would get in her life and be like, oh, can I have $2,000? Can I do this? Can you buy me a truck? And she's just like, no, she got tired of it, and so then when, she was called average at best, all of a sudden these degenerates were calling her house, calling her phone, calling her business phone, coming to her workplace. And that's insane.
I have to play, not devil's advocate. I don't feel sorry now that everybody knows who Kevin Samuels is and they know what he's about. They know that all he want to do is chop down black women so that they can feel like they need to stay with these degenerates. At this point, with him having over 1 million subscribers and you still calling in, I'm going to have to say that you asking for it at this point because you know what he's getting ready to say. And why do you need the validation of a bacon face sissy ass motherfucker? I'm not able to.
I don't get it because her father is alive and well and active in her life and is also a successful business owner. Okay, active in her life. I think her parents are still married.
That just exposes the mental health of these women. You coming from a very, very good background and you called a $938 a month making sissy in a suit to ask him what he thought about what you're doing.
Yep.
Okay.
But apparently she didn't research his records. Okay. Because he's still owed arrears. Okay.
Yeah, I saw that with my trolling ass. I saw that shit too. Welcome back, Trinity.
Hey y'all. My Wi-Fi was going out.
It's Saturday night. Wi-Fi don't like Saturday nights, okay?
I have a question, DZ. Well, it's not a question. It's about The View. I don't watch The View per se, but I happened to see a little clip a while back that stood out about, I forgot the lady. I don't know her name. It's Tia Tamara, the one to the left, and it was one that always sat to the right. She was a little heavy set, but very pretty. And she had this show on where there was a bunch of black women that she was speaking to, telling them, I feel bad for a lot of the women. I'm asexual, so I'll be fine. But for the women that actually want to have children and want to be with someone, I feel really bad for so many black women because some of them, I mean, like we were talking about, what are they going to do? Like,
if they don't leave Blackistan, they're going to get their ass whooped. That's a fact.
Even when they leave, what?
Well, if they're not asexual, there's other races of men out here. Or they can be single. There's nothing wrong with being single as well. Get you a British short hair cat. They cute.
Right. Men are checking for black women. Like, they like to tell that black women that nobody wants them. That's a lie. there are men who are interested in us. The problem is they're so used to black women caping for nignogs that they think they don't have a chance.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about with the little graphic that's up there. They go for your self-esteem because you have to have low self-esteem to even think about entertaining such a group of motherfuckers. I mean, how low can you go? And I know you're not
But
gonna
you
sit here and
see,
make $100,000 and be calling a $938 crispy piece of bacon that just got on YouTube.
DZ,
Mm-hmm.
I've had Asian men tell me that, yeah, I was really attracted to this black lady, and she was just so cute. But he went to try to, strike up a conversation with her, and they were in a bar, lots of young people, and this black girl clowned on him. I mean, completely clowned. She started talking loud and stuff, and he came back to me. He says, "What was that?" I said, "Well, that's called clowning and talking loud. Just go to another black girl, leave that one alone."
Yeah,
That's what I told him.
they know most mammies are like that. Most black women are like that, and that's the answer to that question I keep getting about why they never approach, because they think they see you on the internet every goddamn day talking about you just only like black men. I love chocolate men, only black men for me. If I saw a group of men that were constantly putting that shit up, I wouldn't approach their ass either. If they were like, oh, that milky vanilla skin, I love that, and the straight hair on white women.
Ugh.
If they talking like that, I'm not gonna approach their ass either, because I'm not a white woman, Not gonna
Facts.
fucking
Absolutely.
do it.
Absolutely.
I can't tell you how many times I've been asked, they don't approach. They don't approach. That's because mammies put you in this situation. You have to, unfortunately, your image precedes you. So they already thinking that you're gonna be in McDonald's fighting over some bullshit that the cashier said, out here fighting over a man, out here protesting the police, all that bullshit that black women will do when they're engaging with Blackistan.
Yeah, there's a lot of Gen Z black girls that think that white boys don't like them, and I hear them say that all the time. It's just like, no, it's not the fact that these men are fetishizing or they're racist or they just don't like you because you're black. It's just the fact they don't talk to you guys, because a lot of other black girls unfortunately ruined that for you, because they turn them down, they're mean to them, they say that I only want to be with a black boy, a dark skin one at that. It's always dark skin. And I mean, it just is what it is. So it's not that these boys don't like y'all, it's just the fact that a lot of other girls ruined it for
Yep.
us.
Case Sloan said mammies won't shut up about their love of poverty peen. And Case Sloan, it is indeed poverty peen. Like I told y'all last live. You let one of them motherfuckers come in you if you want to. The best thing you can walk away with is gonorrhea, because the rest of that shit is gonna fuck your life up.
All
A
right.
baby he don't want, HIV, all that other shit. So if you walk away with gonorrhea, you're actually doing good in Blackistan.
Like
Real fucking
we don't
talk.
just say that. Like statistics say, if you have a baby with a black man, your chances of being in poverty for the rest of your life shoot through the roof,
skyrocket.
1000%.
Stay away from them, please.
Over several generations, not just the baby. Shoot, but when the kid grows older.
Yep.
And that's any woman.
That's Brookings Institute said that.
That's Asian women, that's Latino women, that's black women, that's all women. Any woman that gets with them, unless they're playing football, basketball, or rapping, or doing something in the media, their chances of going from how they were to going downhill is very high.
The rich ones don't even pay child support. They got
Right.
like 8 kids.
I was gonna say that too. Like, even when they get with the men who have money, they also have to fight. Just like what's Future baby mama's name?
Which one?
Eliza Rain.
Eliza, she had to fight to get some type of money. You know what I'm saying? And that's just one example. So even when they have money, they have the same mindset. So it doesn't matter if they have money or not. They're gonna keep that money away from you, or they're gonna try to.
When they have a
Dr.
whole bunch of
Dre's
money,
daughter
a whole
is
bunch of money, they
homeless.
put it in their family's name. I've seen that too. If he has a whole bunch of money, he'll put a house in his sister's name, get a checking account in another family member's name. So when his credit is ran, or they run his numbers or whatever, it looks like he's just average at best. So now you can't get what you deserve, even fucking a rich Dusty.
Yeah,
they
look
do
at
that?
Dr. Dre's daughter. I mean, I know
Yep.
she's 38.
She's homeless.
Like, I get she's 38, but that's still your daughter, and you're a multi-billionaire. And it's just like your other kids who are biracial, who are also adults, you're giving them money, but when it comes to your fully black daughter, you're not giving her anything. Like, I'm not saying he has to buy her like a
Thank you, Patricia. Go ahead, honey. Sorry.
You're fine. I'm not saying he has to give her a $10 million mansion. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is you still have way enough money to help your daughter in some type of way. And, and then for the, black people, I'm not going to say Dusty's, I'm going to say black people, because it was both genders talking about how she's grown and that, he don't need to help her no more and she needs to get a job. But it's like, this is the same community that expects for you to hold a grown man down and be his ride or die, get him out of jail, pay his bills with him.
Facts.
So, and I just feel like when it comes to the daughters, it's like, oh, she's grown, she can do it on her own. But I just don't see how are we going to talk about generational wealth and y'all don't even pass down any type of wealth to y'all grown children?
Even when you have it, they don't
Damn,
pass it down.
DMX.
You know, Eliza Rain, he wouldn't even sign the birth certificate. So she had to go to one of the other baby's mothers and get a test, get her to test her baby to claim paternity to be, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how bad it is.
The only reason he wouldn't claim that baby because she said she was ugly and she was dark skinned.
What?
Yep.
Yeah,
that's true.
All his other baby mamas is light skinned. He claimed them babies, and he wouldn't claim her baby. So she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna just test the other kids."
It doesn't even matter there because my mom is biracial too, and they hate anything dealing with them. It's called mind manipulation, and where they'll make other women, they may show themselves holding the babies that are biracial up to make the other women jealous, but then they discard them too. It's just in order to make the other ones jealous so that they can come back over there. And then when they treat them wrong, they go back over to the other women. They leave their biracial children too. Mariah Carey, plenty of other ones, Halle Berry, all of them, and then they run off into the sunset. And then you have some, they have 17 baby mamas like DMX. He has a mixture of, black baby mamas, Latino baby mamas, 17. He has tons of them. And he left them all with nothing.
I thought he had 15. 14.
17. A set of twins. One is ended up he had two more that ended up being twins, and one of them are special needs now. They're toddlers.
He got one too many.
Does anybody know that Future claims Sierra's son? I don't know what that relationship is like right now.
Yeah, he did. He's mad that Russell's playing football with him, with the little kid.
Wow.
That's for him, between him and that other man. He don't give a fuck about that baby. He just sitting up here competing with Russell. It has nothing to do with that baby whatsoever.
He mad she moved on.
No, they don't care.
You know you're not supposed to move on and find love and all that shit after you've been rolling in the hay with these nasty asses.
And speaking of Russell, my thing is this: black men tell you to choose better. Then when she did choose better, because she upgraded, obviously, why are they still mad? Like
because she's black and she's doing well.
They wanted to ruin her first.
Crime.
They need to ruin her.
Yeah, that's the crime. If you're a black woman and you're living a carefree life, that's the crime. Period. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to struggle, and you're supposed to be used to struggle. You have these mammies, the way they talk out here, sound like they prefer the struggle.
They do.
Hi, DC. Is it okay if I say something on the panel?
Of course.
I just want to say this is my first time on the panel. I've been listening to your lives, and I listen to you when I do my cardio because it motivates me. But
that's what's up.
Yeah, and I absolutely adore you and all these other ladies. I really do. I wanted to say a couple of things. First of all, with regards to whoever just spoke, and I'm sorry, I don't know everybody's name, but I think that was Trinity. There was a case.
Yep.
I don't know, sometime in the last 10 years, there's probably been several, but I'm referencing a specific one. This one, it was a white guy, black woman. They were relatively young. I think they were under 30 or around their 30s. He was in the military and she did something and they were living a great life. Their families got along. And one day, neither one of them reported to work. Somebody came by the house and they found him like beaten and shot. And they found her naked with her hands behind her back and her face in on the sofa, facing a pillow, basically. And she had been beaten and sexually assaulted. Make a long story short, they were talking about or asking why this case hadn't been charged as a hate crime, because what they found was that His black military thuggish degenerate subordinates were the ones who did this. They broke into the house, and I don't know if they were trying to rob them or what, but there clearly were other motives because of what happened during the case. Because again, white male, black woman. And they were trying to explain why this happened. And this is just one of my theories. And I talked to a bunch of other women about this because I thought, okay, maybe I'm crazy. But to make a long story short, I theorized that one of the reasons those black men did that to them was because she came up by marrying a white man. Our stock goes up even when we date white men, but especially when we marry them. So we can escape, I guess you want to call it Blackistan. We can escape it. Black men, no matter what race of woman they get with, their status will always be the same.
Facts.
You see
Or
what I'm saying?
lowered.
It'll
Yeah,
drop,
exactly. Exactly. And then my second comment, I thought of this when we were discussing, or when I was listening to you all discuss solutions in terms of how to deal with these degenerates. I put this on, or I'm going to put this on Facebook, but when I mentioned it, some people tried to kick me off Facebook. But to make a long story short,
Yes, they died. I was just answering a question about what the story you told. Yes.
oh, I'm sorry. Yes, they died horrible deaths, those two. And they never were, the perps never were charged with a hate crime, but they did catch them. But in terms of solutions, I was thinking about bringing back the 95 crime bill. One of the tenets of that bill says that when these men commit 3 violent crimes, which in my opinion is too many, they are locked up for life. And
3
there's no,
strikes, you're out.
yeah, exactly. And then I wanted an amendment in there to basically prosecute the mammies that aid and abet them.
Yes.
Because it's the women that are helping them get away with this stuff. And I actually thought about putting this petition on change.org. But honestly, I cowered down because I'm like, they're going to immediately take this petition down and they're going to ban me for it. So I don't know. I just wanted to know what you ladies thought about that.
I have
Because
something to say about that.
okay.
Okay. I was in the military. I was a non-commissioned officer in the Army. And while I was on, active duty, you saw all kinds of black dudes with women. They would marry these white girls over the weekend, kind of stuff.
Yep.
And there was this one sergeant who was with me. He and I were about the same age. He's of German descent, and he protected me all while I was there. Let me tell you what the black guys did to him. They took his bunk, they shorted his bunk, they harassed him all the while we were there.
Yeah.
And a couple of big black guys met me outside the mess hall and said, "What you doing with that white dude?" And I just looked at him and said, "Whatever I want, bye." And when I gave them no play, and I felt that they had no sense whatsoever asking me any damn thing, that's when they started harassing him. They took it out on him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of change.org,
Mhm.
what would be really, really good is if one of these Dusties murders a black woman, okay, whether he's in a relationship or not with her. They need to go through his socials and see if he said anything ridiculous about black women, because that would indeed constitute it being charged as a hate crime.
But see, I think one of the problems with that is that because I've seen this happen. Quite frankly, I live in a liberal city, and
Oh, God bless. I'm sorry.
Ugh.
exactly,
Oh,
exactly. And I mean, I actually tried to change things. It was black women who, I mean, like literally on a public level, and it was black women who came against me the
Of
hardest.
course.
But I think the problem with that is that now you have these white liberal judges that are giving these men who commit all these terrible crimes. They're giving them like a lower bail or a lower sentence because I was told it's because they don't want to appear racist. But I'm not sure if that's the answer. I think they face backlash more so. You know what I mean? They're afraid of the backlash, just like with the Derek Chauvin verdict. They're saying that he should be able to get off on appeal, and that if the jury didn't fear like another, these people rioting for another 9 or 10 months, they would have let him off. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting.
So basically, the moral of the story is mammies fuck up a lot of shit, and they're just as much an enemy of yours as a Dusty.
Yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
real talk, because sometimes when you get fucked up by a Dusty, he is protected by her.
Yep.
I haven't seen him or providing alibis for him or setting your ass up. Hey, girl, come such and such and so and so. And then when you get there, it's two Dusties looking like the demons they are, and they get ready to fuck you up. So they are just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, as a Dusty. Real
May
talk.
I say something to that?
Of course.
Um, I just feel like if black men weren't in this community, like if they were somewhere else, we like most of our problems will go away and we'll be fine. And if black mammies were to change and they protected black girls like they protect black boys, we will be fine. And I think that we will have an easier life. I mean, yeah, we'll still have to deal with, a little bit of racism and misogyny, but I just feel like most of the extra problems that we have is because of Dusties, and yeah, mammies do contribute to that. But first, if we got rid of them, I think that some things would change slowly over time.
Mammies are part of the reason why we can't get rid of Dusties,
Yeah.
because they're always there petitioning for them. So if half of us, and that's being liberal as fuck, if half of us wanted to get rid of them, right? You are gonna be met. All the Dusty got to do is sit down and cross his arms. She gonna fight for him against you,
Right.
point blank. Period.
We can
And
get
that's
rid of them by our wombs by not having them.
and
Like,
that's not
Yeah,
that's
it
what I
has
was
to
about to
start
say.
there.
That's
It has
not gonna happen because they keep giving birth to them. So
ugh.
Yeah.
sounds good in theory.
Well,
So
yeah,
no matter
I
what
get
you do,
that.
you're telling me the mammies are pretty much setting the social agenda for us then.
Yep.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
the
We're outnumbered. I mean, we are outnumbered. We're growing, but we are outnumbered like a motherfucker. Period. I mean, if we did some votes today, the Dusty's gonna win. Because you got liberal white folks that give a fuck about Dusties. Then you got the mammies, okay? And some of the liberal non-white people that feel their pain, quote unquote, especially the Hispanic men. So just wanted to
okay.
put that out there.
What
Do
about
y'all
this?
think that they will ever change though?
No.
Well, since our numbers are growing, I know slowly, but like maybe in 2070, like I don't know.
I
Only
would
the
love to
only time
see it.
it'll the only
Not
time
all
it'll
black
change
women.
is if it's like exponentially changes.
I
Okay,
mean,
it, we're trickling still.
not all
When
black women, but just like a certain amount of us, like a decent amount realistically. Because realistically speaking, there's always going to be those black women that just wants to be with a black man, and but like
Ain't that the truth?
like at least a certain like decent amount.
so you want a critical mass of black women then?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because realistically speaking, yeah, you know.
yeah.
We
Somebody
could
said
change
try
this
the
thing
year
though.
4000.
We
Somebody
really
said
could
try the
change
year
this.
4000.
If we kept ourselves in shape, work on our person and make sure we're good, we're first presentable ourselves and the way that we present ourselves, which we are, and then we keep our wombs to ourselves until we find someone of that, to the level that we're looking at, not necessarily about all of them being rich, but the way that they treat you, the way that they provide a future for, a nice area for you and your children. What if we did this to protect our womb? But forget the women that don't want to do this and they like getting beat on. They like I hate to say it because some of their kids are going to be, oh my God, their
It's
kids are gonna
true.
suffer.
It's
We're
true.
gonna have to move.
You can't hate to say it at this point because it's the truth. It's getting to the point where you have to give the truth just raw,
Yeah.
because you're gonna take a L to the mammy and the Dusty, tiptoeing around their talking points. You got to let them know you know what, bitch, you wrong, and I don't want to hear what the fuck you got to say, because the next thing I know, you're gonna be on somebody's notifications because you done got your ass knocked off. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, we need to move and we need to some of these women, they move and they get these thugs and they bring them over to these good areas. No, when you divest completely. You move to your nice area, keep your body up. If you do have a child, don't have it from them. Teach your daughters very young. No, stay away from them. Show them stuff to show them what can happen to them. And so they can stay in the family line of them knowing how to choose right. Choose better, ladies, right? We're gonna choose better, all right? By making sure our wombs, we make better choices with our wombs and teach our daughters too as well so that we can live in these in nice areas with, if you're a woman and you want these guys to, be presentable and give you these nice areas to live in. Your daughters grow up and they see the way men's supposed to treat them and treat their women with respect. They are attracted to these guys right here and not thugs. So a huge chunk of us aren't going to be involved in that. Some will stay in the hood, getting treated bad. And I hate to say it, oh, what's happening to these 10-month-old, 10-year-old, 9-year-olds? It's not their fault because their moms are choosing to stay with thugs. They're going to be hurt in the process. But we, what comes from us, we'll be able to uplift ourselves. But unfortunately, there will be kids being born every day in the hood that's not their fault because their mothers chose to stay with them.
Can I say something
Of
to the
course.
mammies who are listening? Okay, and I know this will probably get pushback from them, but court records are free. Okay, the you know it- just find out where he lived before. If you're talking to a dude and vetting him, find out where he lived before. Go to that county, type in his name. Okay, you have to get his real name, mammies. No nicknames. Okay, and see what comes up. Okay, see what comes up. I mean, I look. We all do that. Every woman I know does that. Okay, run the sex offender database. Look at the sex offender databases. That's free. That is public information. But they don't do that. You all, they don't do that.
They
Divestors, they
won't because they
don't.
think everybody deserves a second chance, especially if he's black and has a shit log.
They
Second
don't
chance.
want to know.
Shit.
They
Everybody
don't want
deserves a
to.
second
That's it
chance.
too, though. No, that's it. That there's that, but also somebody else. I don't know who said that. They don't want to know. They don't.
They don't. It was me. They don't want to know.
Well, that's true as
Can
well.
can I say something?
Yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
it's gonna be a little bit off topic, but like in my family, we are like five girls, and many of us we don't even date Nigerian men. The only sister that I have that she decided she was going to date an African man. She's a baby mama now, and the father of the child is nowhere to be found. But for my other siblings, most of us, one is with the Arab man, I am with a German man. My other sister is also with a German man. So most of us, we are also out. Many Nigerian women, when these contractors from Europe or other part of the country come to my country, many Nigerian women, it's very easy for us to like get married, find ourselves a mate quickly because we understand the pathology of the African male. That's the truth. We understand the psychological pathology of them. So mostly when we see even the Chinese now, many women are getting married to the Chinese. And another thing is we do not let anybody tell us what to do, which man you want to be married to.
I
We
like when
don't
you
allow
come up
that.
here and speak because you get
And
a perspective of another part of the globe.
And I would say to the US women, do not let anybody tell you what to do. It is your life at the end of the day. And you came to this world alone. You have to decide for your own well being. If other women in Africa can just move out and say, you know what, I'm going to marry a Chinese man or I'm going to marry a European man. And the truth is, not even the family can do anything about it because they can, at the end of the day, it's the girl's decision who she wants to be married to, especially if she wants to be married out. Most families see that is as a good thing because many families would see it more like wealth for the family and also protection, and also that their daughters are safe because even the men in this country knows how dangerous some of the other men are. So my advice would be the women in US, you should just take care of yourself and look for another man. It's not a must to stay with toxic men.
Speaking of, if y'all check out the banner, she says, listen to your gut as well, because some criminals have no record, which is true. They haven't been caught or turned in. Please pay attention to your intuition, and that is a fact. Black Jesus, you're back, sir. I don't know why you keep coming here. I don't. I have no idea. I honestly think the part where they were talking about registered sex offenders, because that's coincidentally when you click that link.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Let me see if I can share this so I can close out. Let's go with this video file. Now watch it act a damn fool. Y'all, listen to this shit. If it decides to come up.
Their fucking mouths. What they say doesn't.
Maybe we should start listening since they running their mouths, because they're also running to non-black women. Okay?
Let's take that back.
Black men run nothing but their fucking mouths. What they say doesn't.
Maybe we should start listening since they running their mouths, because they're also running to non-black women.
Okay, y'all. So you triggered?
If they
I
got to do
am.
anything.
I'm
It's
very triggered. Very
it's
triggered.
time to drag. Mammies, this is for you. You see her fucking face? That is the face of, oh my God, I'm stuck here. I'm never going to be able to do any better. And I got to make sure that these men are comfortable. So I'm going to tell you to stay here as well. This circular face woman is worried about Dusty's leaving the community. If y'all have been here for the past 2 hours, you know good and fucking well we've been sitting up talking about all the terrorism that happens on their behalf. So the fact that they're going, quote unquote, to non-black women and doing the Shanae pop or whatever the fuck she was doing, it's of no consequence to people like us. And this is why you need to consider divesting. Okay. You know what's going to happen when I get off of here? Check it out. The girls on my Discord know good and fucking well every weekend I eat crab legs because Mr. Zealot makes it for me. Okay. I'm going to put my headphones on, talking to Discord with the girls, and I'm probably going to have to put myself on mute because I don't want to chew in their ear. Okay. You, on the other hand, mammies, and I'm saying this in general, Saturday night is not a good night for mammies. You either getting beat the fuck up, getting robbed, getting sexually assaulted, or if none of the above is happening, guess what you're doing? Looking on your app trying to see where that nigga is, right? Trying to see if he told the truth about where he went, trying to make sure he ain't over his baby mama house, because with being a mammy, the baby mama is a mammy as well. So since that's her child's father, she's going to continue to give him pussy. You get what I'm saying? Please stay your ass off of TikTok making bullshit like this. One more time.
Okay.
Black men run nothing but their fucking mouths. What they say doesn't.
Maybe we should start listening since they running their mouths, because they're also running to non-black women.
Who
Okay.
cares? Look at her face.
Black men.
Honey, her face it says everything. You know why your cheeks are that fat? It's because of the cortisol dealing with Blackistan. I'm telling you. And I'm not even trying to be funny. Also, there are several hair tutorials on this motherfucker here. And it's too many for you to be coming up here looking like that, talking that shit. Real goddamn talk. Any goddamn way.
It's not even that. She just looks so smug. Like they're running to non-black women. Who cares? Like,
who gives a fuck? Let them go. One less rapist, one less thief, one less whatever.
Let them run off of a cliff. We don't care.
Honey,
I think that we should just stop talking. So
let me get her face up out of here. Y'all, it has just been wonderful. I love talking to y'all on the weekends. I think we're gonna be doing this shit damn near every Saturday if ain't nothing else going on. But I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna see you in the Discord. Thank y'all for coming out. I'm out of here.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, Karen.
Bye.